and welcome to the Bosal manufacturing plant here in Pretoria. This facility is equipped with state-of-the-art resources to ensure that all Bosal products comply with government legislation, OEM specifications and SABS standards. Here they take a scientific approach in designing and developing their products. It's also this facility where the Tando Stabilizer is manufactured. So you've bought your towing vehicle of choice. You've had your Bosal tow bar professionally fitted to tow your caravan or boat. You are good to go. Or are you? What else do you need to ensure a safer journey for you and your family? Now, Carlos da Cruz is the man behind the ingenious Tando Stabilizer. Hi, Carlos.
Hi there.
Now, why do we need a towing stabilizer?
Well, as you know, our roads in South Africa are part of our transport network. And it's not uncommon to see a truck doing 120 kilometers an hour coming past you. And what happens when that truck comes past you? The blow wave that comes off that truck buffets the side of your caravan and puts your caravan into a sway. You know, the only thing to get out of a sway is the experience of a driver to prevent you from going off the road onto the side and shredding up your tires against the end of the road or even rolling your caravan.
Carlos, now how does the Tando Stabilizer work?
The Tando Stabilizer works on a friction system, and what it does, it's very similar to the disc brakes on your car. When you apply the brakes, it slows it down, and the stabilizer does exactly the same thing. When your caravan starts pitching or snaking, the friction pads on the stabilizer will slow it down and reduce the sway on your caravan and bring control back to your car and keeping your rigs in a straight line for you.
Okay, you've definitely convinced me. This is an important accessory to have if you're going to be towing. But do I now need to have this professionally fitted?
Well, Desiree, you can have it professionally fitted. When you buy your caravan, you can get the dealer to actually fit it for you, or you can do it yourself at home. It's a very simple product to fit. It needs very limited amount of tools, and it's quite basic, yes.
Okay, show me. Let's see how we fit this.
Once you've unpacked your Tando, make sure that you have all the parts. The friction arm, the backing plate, the bracket with a nylon guide, the retaining clip, 2 M8 bolts with 4 washers and 2 nuts, and 2 M16 bolts with 2 washers and 2 nuts. Right, and the tools you would require to do the installation would be a 24mm socket, a 24mm spanner, a 13mm spanner and a 13mm socket. You'd also require a drill with a 9 to 10mm drill bit that you would be using later on in the installation, and you might also require an extension cord to do the job. We start the installation by removing the towing ball. We take our 24 spanner and our 24 socket and we remove the 2 M16 bolts. Right, now we're going to fit the backing plate back onto the tow bar by using the bolts that are supplied. If your tow bar has a plug plate like this, it must be fitted to the opposite side where your Tando stabilizing arm will be inserted in your backing plate. Make sure that you've got your ball hitch. We put the bolts through it, put it through the tow bar, put your plug plate back in its position, inserting first a washer and then your nylon nut, and doing the same on the other one on the opposite side. Using your 24 spanner and 24 socket, fasten the 2 bolts. The next step is to take our bracket with this nylon guide that we're going to be fixing to the caravan, boat or trailer and placing it on our Tando stabilizing arm 125 millimeters from the end of the tube by using a tape measure. Making sure that you measure from the end of the nylon guide to the end of the tube. It must be 125 millimeters. The Tando arm should be fitted to the unobstructed side of the A-frame of the trailer, usually the opposite side to the jockey wheel. We now need to drill holes to bolt our bracket to the caravan's frame. By placing the Tando arm directly under the coupler, we then have to measure 40 millimeters from the top of the nylon bush to the bottom of the caravan's frame, then taking a Koki and going through the holes on the bracket, mark where you need to drill. We've now drilled our holes to bolt our bracket to the caravan's A-frame. We now unclip it from the Tando arm. Using our M8mm bolts, 4 washers and 2 nylock nuts, and using the 13 flat spanner and 13 socket spanner, we are now going to bolt the bracket to the caravan. First, by inserting 1 washer onto the bolt, and then through the bracket, and then repeating it again for the second hole. We then push it through the 2 holes of the caravan, and using the 1 washer behind it first on the top bolt, and then the nylock nut. Repeating the same on the bottom bolt. Taking our flat spanner, and then we tighten the bottom one, the bottom bolts as well. We can now hitch our vehicle to our trailer. To insert your stabilizing arm, you need adequate ground clearance. A good tip is to use the caravan's jockey wheel to raise the rear of the vehicle. Before you insert the arm, you may need to straighten it. And now you can insert the stabilizing arm into the backing plate. For this step, you will need to use a bit of strength to insert the tube into its nylon guide. The final step, but very important step, is to insert the retaining clip onto the square bar.
Well, Carlos, is that it? Are we ready to go?
Yes, we are.
That did not look difficult at all, but tell me about maintenance on this product.
Yes, the Tando stabilizer will require maintenance, either once a year or every 2,000 kilometers of towing. One would have to dismantle the friction plate side of it and actually inspect the 2 plates and the friction pads to see if they have any excessive wear on them, and if they have, there are parts available for the Tando.
Now you are ready to hit the road with the knowledge that you will have a much safer journey. Better be sure, better be Bosal.